Glad to have you on the show. I hear you're an expert on these. What are OPMs? What do they do?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I work on higher education accountability at the Century Foundation, and a large part of that has been looking at how schools operate their online programs through working with these OPMs, or online program managers.
Right.
So, an OPM is a third party education services company that is often private and for profit that contracts with schools to operate some or all aspects of a school's online program. Last year, Stephanie Hall, my colleague, and I conducted an analysis of contracts between OPMs and public institutions. And we saw that OPMs are often contracted for services like marketing and student recruitment, program development, course design, but some OPMs even go as far as hiring and training the instructors, so essentially educating the students on the institution's behalf, which is crazy. Sounds crazy. Um, these services are offered usually either individually in exchange for a fixed fee, or all together as a bundle in exchange for a share of the school's tuition, of the student's tuition. And so it's this bundled service tuition share model that poses the most concern for us.
No, I mean, understandably so. If I hire a plumber, I don't expect him to hire a different plumber to do the job I hired him for, right? I would have just hired the first plumber in the first place, or the second plumber. That's wow. Okay, so this sounds risky. What are some of the risks involved in outsourcing responsibility to these third-party contractors?
It's important. It's an important question because it's become increasingly common for colleges to outsource a lot of their services, like housing, dining, and parking. And whenever you have outsourcing going on, there is always a risk of sacrificing quality as you hand over control to another party. But the stakes of this risk are even higher when the services that you are outsourcing are core to a school's mission as an educational institution. So this risk is particularly heightened when the OPM is managing student recruitment and when it's for profit. In these instances, you have a profit-oriented entity with direct access to tuition, and so what you'll have is profit being put before the student. The OPM is definitely going to want to enroll as many students as possible because the more students they recruit, the more money they get.
Wow. I mean, it's not like we're about to, go online for an extended period of time or anything. So this is probably not a pressing matter right now. But if we were in a situation where we were going to be online for an extended period of time, and this was a pressing issue, how would colleges and universities look to recover post pandemic?
Yeah. Um, you know, if we were in a time like that, you know, I would say that colleges need to understand the full scope of the stakes involved in going online. I personally think from from the experiences of institutions that I've seen going online, that building out online programs using internal capacity is the safest thing to do. But I know that for some schools, particularly small schools that have small endowments and are very reliant on tuition revenue, that's not a realistic option for them. And I know that those are going to be some of the schools looking to boost their enrollment to stabilize their balance sheets again after having to shut down in response to the pandemic.
Where can we go to read more of your work on this topic?
To learn more on what we discovered in our contract analysis, you can visit our website, the Century Foundation's website, and check out my report with Stephanie Hall called Dear Colleges, Take Control of Your Online Courses. And to hear from the other side, from schools that decided against contracting out, You can check out a report I released earlier this year called How Colleges Can Get Online Education Right. And lastly, while this isn't related solely to OPMs, the Century Foundation has just started monitoring college marketing and student recruitment. And we have recently released a report detailing what we found in college marketing shifts in response to the pandemic. And so you can read more about that in College Marketing in the COVID-19 Economy. And that's everything. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for joining us, Taela. And I hope you have a great rest of your week as well, too. All right.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, Taela Dudley.